The way is to man as rivers and lakes are to fish, the natural condition of life. The fact is that those who do not see themselves, but who see others, who fail to grasp of themselves, but who grasp others, take possession of what others have but fail to possess themselves. They are attracted to what others enjoy but fail to find enjoyment in themselves. A petty thief is put in jail. A great brigand becomes a ruler of a nation. Man may rest in the eternal fitness, he may abide in the everlasting, and roam from the beginning to the end of all creation. He may bring his nature to a condition of one, he may nourish his strength, he may harmonize his virtue, and so put himself into partnership with God. Eyes that are blind have no way to tell the loveliness of faces and features. Eyes with no pupils have no way to tell the beauty of colored and embroidered silks. If you were to hide the world in the world, so that nothing could get away, this would be the final reality of the constancy of things. The greatest tragedy that can befall a person is the atrophy of his mind. All men know the use of the useful, but nobody knows the use of the useless. Where can I find a man who has forgotten words so that I can have a word with him? The way comes about as we walk it. One whose inner being is fixed upon such greatness emits a heavenly glow. Even though he has this heavenly glow, others will see him as just a man. Someone who has reached this point will begin to be consistent. The hearing that is only in the ears is one thing. The hearing of the understanding is another. But the hearing of the spirit is not limited to any one faculty, to the ear, or to the mind. And how do I know that the hate of death is not like a man who has lost his home when young and does not know where his home is to return to? Perfect happiness is the absence of striving for happiness. The saying goes, the sage rests, truly rests, and is at ease. This manifests itself in calmness and detachment, so that worries and distress cannot affect him, nothing unpleasant can disturb him. His virtue is complete and his spirit is not stirred up. Calculate what man knows and it cannot compare to what he doesn't know. Calculate the time he is alive, and it cannot compare to the time before he was born. Yet man takes something so small and tries to exhaust the dimensions of something so large. So it is said, for him who understands heavenly joy, life is the working of heaven, death is the transformation of things. In stillness, he and the yin share a single virtue. In motion, he and the yang share a single flow. The eyes envy the mind. Only fools imagine they are already awake. How clearly they understand everything, how easily they distinguish this deception from that reality. To use a horse to show that a horse is not a horse is not as good as using a non-horse to show that a horse is not a horse. Each one's destiny cannot be altered. Once Zhuangzi dreamt he was a butterfly. When men do not forget what can be forgotten, but forget what cannot be forgotten, that may be called true forgetting. The man who has forgotten self may be said to have entered heaven. Your preciousness lies in your essence. It cannot be lost by anything that happens. Things joined by profit, when pressed by misfortune and danger, will cast each other aside. A battering ram can knock down a city wall, but it cannot stop a hole. Different things have different uses. If you wish to care for your body, first of all take care of material things, though even when you have all the things you want, the body can still be uncared for. Running around accusing others is not as good as laughing, and enjoying a good laugh is not as good as going along with things. The world is large, its beauty indescribable. A sage steers by the bright light of confusion and doubt. Those who count things are not worthy of assisting the people. You cannot discuss the ocean with a well frog. He has limited by the space he lives in. You cannot discuss ice with a summer insect. He has bound to a single season. The sound of water says what I think. When the shoe fits, the foot is forgotten. When the belt fits, the belly is forgotten. When the heart is right, /for / and /against / are forgotten. No drives, no compulsions, no needs, no attractions, then your affairs are under control. You are a free man. Are you and I perchance caught up in a dream from which we have not yet awakened? The man who knows he is a fool is not a great fool. To examine oneself makes good use of sight. A good completion takes a long time. A bad completion cannot be changed later. Men do not mirror themselves in running water, they mirror themselves in still water. Only what is still can still the stillness of other things. Men of this world all rejoice in others being like themselves, and object to others not being like themselves. It is only when the formed learns from the unformed that there is understanding. Human life is limited, but knowledge is limitless. To drive the limited in pursuit of the limitless is fatal, and to presume that one really knows is fatal indeed. Water becomes clear and transparent when in a quiescent stage. How much the more wonderful will be the mind of a sage when poised in quiescence. It is the mirror of heaven and earth, reflecting the 10,000 things. The Tao is in all things, in their divisions and their fullness. What I dislike about divisions is that they multiply, and what I dislike about multiplication is that it makes people want to hold fast to it. So people go out and forget to return, seeing little more than ghosts. Either in conflict with others or in harmony with them, we go through life like a runaway horse, unable to stop. Right is not right, so is not so. If right were really right, it would differ so clearly from not right that there would be no need for argument. If so were really so, it would differ so clearly from not so that there would be no need for argument. Never admire a man by his strength. Judge him in how he uses it. A way is made by walking it. We cannot expect a blind man to appreciate beautiful patterns, or a deaf man to listen to bells and drums. And blindness and deafness are not confined to the body alone, the understanding has them, too. Words have value. What is of value in words is meaning. Meaning has something it is pursuing, but the thing that it is pursuing cannot be put into words and handed down.